what I'd like to do is highlight what's new in MineScape 2021. So what I'll do is I'll just profile some of the big enhancements we've done so you can get a feel for what's available to you. First off, in the start page, we've revamped it some. So now you have access to products. Within products, you have the installed apps. Now, of course, you have to be licensed for these. The beauty of it is now you have access to these, and you don't even have to load them up until you need them when you go into MineScape 2021. Of course, we still have the recent projects and my project area over here, so you can get access to your projects that you use all the time quickly. Along with that, we've given you some options here on the start page. As an example, if you need to look at my units of the project, you can just go right to this units page, or you can come over here and edit your project properties like we had in earlier versions of MineScape. Along with that, you have an account tab. So you can come over here and do your updates or about MineScape. It's similar to what you're used to in Microsoft Office functionality. We also have the videos page still available and the library page. And I ask that you review these because there's some really good information available to you. After you've loaded your products and you've opened up a start page, the first thing you'll notice is the ribbon structure. We've implemented the ribbon structure for ease of use and more intuitive to find your functions that you need. In earlier versions of MineScape, we had menu options within menu options. So we had a lot of this functionality buried in menus. Now we've exposed them out on the ribbon. And as you can see, there's under the home page, you can notice that we've got all the design element ribbon, all the viewing, slicing, where we've added the new dynamic corridor. The mesh, this is new. This is the new mesh library. So we brought in some new functionality there. And of course, the plotting that from Plot Designer that people are used to using, along with the help. And along with the help, what we've done, given a new function here called Where's My Option. So if you have any problem finding an option that you're used to using in MineScape 7, you can type in like the menu option here and it will tell you the path now in MineScape 2021. Along with the help is here, the hotkeys, and about MineScape. Some other things we've implemented in MineScape 2021 are tooltips. So as you roll over or hover over an option on the ribbon, you'll notice that a tooltip expands, and it's going to give you some additional detail. Along with that, there's Tell Me More, which will open up the help and give you more information. We also have pull downs, groups. So as an example, under Clipboard, where we've added Cut, Copy, Paste, and Format Painter, now you can access your Format Painter Advanced is what we call it. So if you can't find something, it's probably going to be into these pull down groups. So some are just a setting, others like graphics. Graphics is a big one because we've basically reduced the amount of information available under the options functionality, and we've exposed it to the graphics group. So now you have capability to manage your RapidCAD, your picking and snapping, how you want to do your selection, either use legacy or the current new selection, rotation, use the arc ball or use legacy. And of course, we've added some performance options in here to make it easier for you to access. In MineScape 2021, we've also improved visualization. What we're used to using is just like single colors. We've now given you the ability to use palettes. So as an example, I'll contour this mesh, and what I'll use is a color palette. Now what you have all these different color palettes available to you. So I'm going to select a color palette that I like, and I'm going to select the start and end color. And I want to do lines. So I want to do contour lines, contour interval of 2, and a frequency of 2. So what I'll do is I'll get a whole different look of now my contour data. Along with that, you can also do the same thing with your mesh. So if I've got this data mesh, so if I just open up the mesh is just a solid color. I could do the same thing. Now I can do a visual override on the mesh, select height Q. Again, you have all the different color palettes available to you. I'll select the start and the end. And if you notice here, you can also give it a start height and an end height and how you can view your data. I'll just hit apply. So now get a whole new visualization for your meshes. Again, there's multiple color palettes available to you to review this. One of the biggest things that we've added in MineScape 2021 is RapidCAD. So now you can do your design work rapidly and don't have to go hunt for menu options and toolbar icons and so on and so forth. So if you type L to start a line, that's a new hotkey we have available. So you can just start drawing your line. And if you type P for polygon, you can start creating a polygon. And then we've given you one other option, quick key G, for rectangle. It can't be R because R is a reset. It's a hotkey for reset. So there's the 3 quick elements you can do. Along with RapidCAD, if I highlight that element and I want to move a vertex, notice the vertices highlight, I can just hover over that vertex and it sticky snaps to it with my mouse. If I want to move that vertex, just left mouse button, click, move the vertex. If I want to move the entire element, we have the quick element edit or the purple dot. Just select it with your left button and move it. If you want to undo, it's a one step now. Just do a Control Z and it will undo along with a backspace, and also up in the ribbon, you can select undo. If I want to insert vertices, if you notice if I sticky snap to the element or the vertex, there's a pull down. If I hit the space bar, or I could just click on the drop down icon, I can insert vertices, and it gives you the direction of where you want to insert the vertices. If you want to insert a vertex at the midpoint, no problem. Insert a vertex at the midpoint. It's a done deal. If I want to move that, left mouse button, move it around, off you go. If I want to change the color of this element, I go to the purple dot. You have the quick edit that comes up. I could just pull down to the color I want or select a color palette. We've given you multiple color palettes. Select the color I want. If I want to change the line weight, select the line weight. Now, if I want to make this polygon have the same attributes, I can just highlight that element, go to the format painter, and then select the element I want to change. If I want to add, in this one, if I want to add fill, quick edit, another option comes up. I can just do the fill, do a solid fill, for example. Off you go. If I want to continue this element, I can either hit the spacebar or drop down on the drop down icon. I can extend, continue. I can even connect elements. If I just want to, say, go to this end, if I just hold the left mouse button down, it goes green. There's like a target, so I can go ahead and just move the elements around or add vertices. If I want to insert, if I want to go to a certain distance, there's the edit box above my cursor. If I just hit the tab, it opens up the tab for me. I can pull down, I can enter a distance, an angle, a bearing, and gradient. So if I type in a distance of, say, 500, and then lock it. It locks that distance to 500. The other thing is you also have the drop arrow on the entire element. So now I can grade that element. I can change the Z values either by absolute or relative. So we've given you a lot of functionality with RapidCAD to make it easier and quicker to do your design work. Another highlight of MineScape 2021 is the mesh library that we've implemented. We've added lots of new functionality, which we'll use in our new engineering solids and our new functionality, Rapid Reserver. And of course, anything to do with Boolean functionality now, creating surface meshes, managing point cloud data, along with importing and exporting to multiple formats, meshes. There's the import, here's the export, along with adding metadata to your meshes, manipulating your meshes, so it's all right here. But one of the biggest is adding texture. Now we can add georeferenced image to our meshes. So under the texture function, we can go ahead and browse for your texture. And the other thing is we've also added the manual georeference capability. I'll just go ahead and add a reference automatically. So I'll just browse to my images. And in this case, it's a TIFF image. I'll just open it and hit OK. And what it will do is reference itself right to this mesh. So then I'll be able to rotate it and look at it. But you can see how easy that was to go ahead and add a reference, an image to your mesh. Now I can use this to do all my design work. Along with the meshes, we can also open and bring in point cloud data. And in this case, we have 4 different formats you can choose from. So we can open up a Windows Explorer, or we can go ahead and open up from your MineScape Explorer. In this case, I've selected an LAS file, the CMS Hard Rock. So if I just rotate this and zoom in, so you can see that MineScape doesn't have any issue rotating and managing this. This is only 33.4 million data points. So it's a pretty good size one, and we can take this point cloud now. We can actually create a mesh from it. We've got some really good tools, and we're going to continue to enhance these point cloud tools. We've made big improvements under the surface engineering open cut tools in the new MineScape 2021. If you go to the ribbon surface engineering open cut, you'll see that, again, all the options have been exposed, and we've added 2 new options on the open cut homepage, just-in-time model. What this will do, this will give the engineers and geologists an opportunity to update their production model with survey data and won't have to worry about editing the schema and setting all the constraints. They just come in here, put your survey data in, and rebuild your production model, just-in-time model. We've also added new functionality, just-in-time DTM, where you can take design data elements from, say, survey and patch them in to a current topography. Or you can go ahead and just, if you have meshes already generated from contour data, say, for example, or your survey data, you can go ahead and add it right into the mesh and update your mesh. One of the biggest things we've done for MineScape 2021 is improve and build upon our engineering solids. So we've got a new menu option called Strip Planning, and underneath that, we have a function called Create. And what this is just a workflow to help the engineers build their engineering solids. And it's step by step, and it's pretty simple to run. It's pretty intuitive. And what you eventually end up getting is the pit shell, the strips, and then the intersection of the strips with the subdivision blocks that you've laid out, or cutter lines that you've laid out. We've also added a node in this MineScape Explorer, so it's easy to manage all this data. So it shows you the design file you're working in along with the meshes that it's created. So if I just turn on these layers just to show you, there's the pit shell. That was generated from the solids. Again, it's watertight. Everything is, there's no gaps. And then if I turn on the strips, that's been intersected against the pit shell. And ultimately, I'm going to get the little strip blocks. And these are what's reserved, and metadata is assigned to all these solids when they're after reserving. Along with that is we've improved on the reserving. The reserving is fast. It knows how to handle these engineering solids. Now, the other thing is we've also added a new function called interval intersection. So if you've created these solids, these engineering solids, but you actually want to put, I need another bench, I need to subdivide these solids, we've given you that capability to put in any interval you want, and all an interval is bounded by a surface top and a surface bottom, and then it will go ahead and create another set of solids for you that are intersected with that interval. Could be a bench spec, it could be a mining interval that you're interested in. So we've given you that capability also, along with creating solid boundaries from your meshes that you can take into a scheduler. In MineScape 2021, we've also added new functionality, and we're calling it Rapid Reserver. And this is leveraging your RapidCAD tools. It's leveraging the new mesh library we put in. So in this example, what I want to do is I want to take a cut along this bench. So I've laid out a polygon. Pretty simple. It's pretty easy format to follow. It's all ribbon driven. It's scenario based. I know I want to build it on a bench 480. We've also given you a node within MineScape Explorer to manage your data. In this case, your design, meshes, reports, and tables. So if I just wanted to lay out some cuts interactively, it's easy to do. I just open up the form, I fill out the form, and then I can start laying in my cutter lines or how I want to lay out my cuts. So I have my bench laid out, and I have the Rapid Reserver has defined the area for me. So if I rotate this, you can see it has slopes to it. It actually defines the total volume for me already for this cut. So I'm just going to slice it. So I'm just going to leverage the RapidCAD tools. So I'll just start laying out a cutter line. And once I lay out the cutter line, you'll notice that I get a volume now for that first cut, and it also names it. So I can continue laying these cutter lines out however I want to, or you can go ahead and leverage the other tools functionality within MineScape. So now that I have my cutter lines laid out, and you just toggle the tooltip, it gives you all your volumes of those blocks. I can go ahead and end the cut. I like that. Now I can go ahead and calculate the reserves. Calculating the reserves will apply metadata. And we've given the users the ability to bring in their schema intervals or qualities and reserve them. In this one, it's just burden. So I'll go ahead and calculate the reserves for this. All these blocks have been updated. They all have metadata to it. So if I select one of these blocks, it tells me the area and the volume, and if I had any coal intervals, it would show up here. I can also generate a report, all your blocks, all your volumes, and the associated thickness. And then what you can do is take these cutter blocks, these little rapid reserver blocks, and actually merge them into the topography to get a progression topography if you wanted to. You can do it by complete scenario, all your mesh blocks, or you can pick and choose the blocks you want to go ahead and cut in or merge into your current topography. What I did was just highlight some of the big items within MineScape 2021. There's quite a few other enhancements we've included. There'll be other smaller videos available to you, but this is really what's new in MineScape 2021 that I think you'll be interested in.